Erik, do you think with a lot of the big brands pulling out in advertising and whatnot, or companies putting money aside, has advertising become a little bit cheaper?
Oh, it dropped 30%. Cost per thousand impressions on Facebook and Google dropped 30% in the past 2 weeks.
So you're saying cost went up?
No, cost
went down. It's cheaper to advertise.
Way cheaper. Yeah.
Wow.
Our cost per lead for Hawke, we spend about $75,000 a month on advertising for Hawke Media. We have not pulled back on it, and our cost per lead cut in half in the past month.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's huge. Yeah, I think for the people who can afford it, like now's the time.
Yeah, that's what exactly. If you're, again, I feel for the people that are shut down and have no alternative, but like I have a friend that owns 25 gyms across Canada, or 20 gyms across Canada, has been doing it for 25 years, got shut down overnight. He went digital. He's doing digital fitness training and hasn't missed a beat. Now he has a whole new revenue stream because all these customers that couldn't come into his gyms for personal training are now signing up that always wished they could have been working with this company. So there's an opportunity here for almost everyone. Cheesecake Factory is only down 50% on revenue, which is crazy. Restaurants are closed across the country. Cheesecake Factory only lost half their revenue for a couple months.
Delivery. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you also one more question. What about all the new technology? Like you're saying, all these companies that never wanted to go virtual, right? Or, for example, we've been doing in-person events for 2 years, now have gone virtual. Mm-hmm. We thought about it, we talked about it, but we never initiated because we didn't have to. We were put in a position where we had to, and we have done this. What do you think about the technology of working from home, or do you think the landscape of work is going to change over time?
Yeah, no, I think this accelerated something that was coming. We've been talking about, the future of work for a while, but like even us, like I'm the one, my partner wanted to go virtual. What was like, we could be, partially remote, et cetera. He really likes the, what's the company that owns WordPress, Automatic? Yeah. Their model, like having like hangout areas in different cities, but like you can work from wherever you want. He really liked that. I was like, you got to build culture. You got to be in person. I'm still on the fence about it being like a permanent thing, but I think a lot of companies are going to just never go back. I think office real estate is going to be a problem. Plus, I mean, for us, like our office is really expensive. We're in West LA with 27,000 square feet. Like that is a huge expense that if I can find a reason to not spend all that money, that's interesting. And so I think that is going to be, a lot of people will think that way. I think there's going to be a lot of shifts. Plus, this is a good example. Like, we would have never thrown a digital conference. We threw one yesterday, and now we're talking about doing one in October. You guys are doing this right now. You may go back to some in-person stuff, but you're also probably going to leverage this sometimes too.
For sure. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to, even when we get back to in-person events, we'll do some digital stuff. And yeah, I was, when you told me that you're doing that digital conference, I was like, this is awesome. Like whenever you told me about that. And we've been running the idea of doing like kind of a day-long kind of like entrepreneur summit type thing too, just to like differentiate ourselves a bit because everyone's doing all these things and we want to kind of make things different and bring people together in a different way. But yeah, I think we do a lot of events at co-working spaces. WeWork, Industrious Spaces. SoftBank pulled out of WeWork. They're going through a whole thing. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Who knows if we're going to even be able to do events with them anymore? And how the co-working industry is going to change after this because they've definitely haven't gotten any new customers, and a lot of people have not been paying or have left or have gotten rid of their lease and are probably just going to work out of coffee shops maybe until this is over. Who knows? So it will definitely be very interesting to see what happens in that capacity.
I agree. I think that will shift. I mean, also like anytime there's an economic downturn, all the bullshit companies get hit. And like WeWork's obviously, they were hit before this, but you see companies like Away that I don't know how that company was valued at $1.3 billion.
I don't either.
And, and it sounds like they had some problems internally. And I mean, from the beginning, they ripped off that idea from Raiden, started Away. Like it's just, that whole story of that company was a little weird. And you have a lot of these e-com brands, a lot of which I know that are struggling right now. It's because they were super ego-driven by the fact that they raised venture money versus building a sustainable business. And now every venture capital person cuts off, and you have every VC telling their companies to stop marketing, which is hilarious to me. Like, and we have a venture fund too. We are not saying that, And it's like, no. Like, and what's amazing is like, we have an investment in a company called the SiL. It's a direct-to-consumer houseplants. They're crushing it right now because everyone's stuck home and buying houseplants. Sure. And so like, but their competitors are all pulling back their ad spends because their VC told them to. It's a pretty ridiculous how people react to that data.
It is funny. Yeah, I think one of the things that I noticed too with Silicon Valley, especially like startups and all of that, is people are more focused on raising money than making money. And they put that on a pedestal over actually building a fundamentally solid business. It's so weird. Yeah. So that's refreshing to hear your thoughts on that too. We have a question here from Lee as well. Are you guys taking advantage of the Google and Facebook ad credits for customers? Because I know Google's doing a bunch of ad credits, Facebook's doing a bunch of ad credits. Maybe if you can go into the details of that too, and how they're structuring those.
Yeah, so actually, I'll three parts of that. So Google and Facebook both giving credits to small businesses to run ad spends and get you kicked off. And yeah, 100%. I was on the phone with the head of partnerships at Facebook this morning, making sure that they were building trainings for our team to push it. Our teams are very on top of it. The good news is like we're one of the top 10 partners to Facebook and Google, other than the holding companies. So we get a lot of support from them. So they look to us to deploy things like that. So absolutely looking at those credits. I don't have clarity personally on how they're getting deployed, so I can't answer that. But I know that we're on it and we're hammering it. And then one thing that brings up also is the PPP. I don't know if anyone on here has a big business over 500 employees, but assuming most people here don't, get on that if you haven't already, because they've already deployed 20% of the money that they've allocated for the payroll. What is it? The payroll relief. I forgot what the 3P stand for. The CARE Act. And like
payroll protection plan.
Yeah, thank you. Payroll protection plan. It is insane what they did there, and they were preemptive. So there is an aspect of things that, frankly, like they're going to have to do more. But like they're putting money in the hands of people that, frankly, don't even need it yet, just to hope that helps them never need it. So they're trying to get ahead of it. Now it's a little late for the companies who are again hyper affected, but for everyone else, you all have. If you're an SMB, you have access to that. You have under 500 employees. And if you're a service business like us, like I think it's, well, on the expense side, our payroll is probably 80% of our expenses. Like for them to cover 2.5 months of it is an insane thing for us to get access to. That makes this like, that makes me like, unless the entire world collapses, we're probably in a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually that's why we're doing these Thursday free live streams on all these COVID. We did our first one last week on just all the updates, the loans, the grants, opportunities. We're doing another one this Thursday. We have our accounting partner again, CPA, going through everything. He's been like researching and diving into all of this. So if anyone wants to learn more about that, we're gonna just do it every Thursday for free across everything.